February 18th, Val sees trouble for Putin.
These are attacks. This looks kind of dangerous.
But world headlines suggest otherwise, and a possible truce. Astrology says think again.
Third house. We're talking about vehicles with like bombs and local attacks that are coming. Something's being planned for sure.
3 weeks later, a shocked Moscow gets pummeled by a deadly drone attack. March 3rd, Val reviews Putin's upcoming troubles.
It's like a bomb or something, or it could be something of value that is being struck. So it's like Medusa strikes. This is like off with your head type of energy. It's also very secret because Uranus is in the 12th house. It's impossible to see this, but it is a revenge strike like you have not seen. It's a horrible failure.
Join us for more world predictions with astrologer Val Evans tonight.
So we're going to take a look at the solar return chart for Donald Trump. And I'm also going to take a look at Melania Trump's chart as well. Linda, it's so nice again to have you as a member. Thank you so much. It really helps the channel. All we're hearing about is Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And if you're interested in me looking at the composite chart between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, I'll be doing that this weekend just for members. So it's going to be a really fascinating study of timing and when you and your partner are going to be getting along, and when sometimes it's kaput, which was the case with them. It's going to be hard to make amends, I think. This is Melania Trump's solar return, and I don't have a birth time for her, so I did the best I could with her solar return time. We're going to start on her birthday as one would in a solar return chart. And if you want to pull yours, you go to AstroSeek and click on, after you pull your birth chart, the solar return only tab, not the solar and birth chart. So you shouldn't have any planets on the outside. And so you're going to start your ascendant on your birthday. Here, Melania Trump, I love that picture of her. She's like, what's going on here? And so we've got this first month. We started out with the sun. Now, even if you don't have your birth information or a person's birth information, like the time, you can still see a lot by looking at the sun. This looks difficult. Looks like maybe there could even be some health problems, which you wouldn't think of or associate with Melania, but she might not be feeling so great. And so that's that the sun in such a big square there. I wasn't even expecting to say that. With Taurus, sometimes that can be hormonal or thyroid issues. Let's see how Melania Trump is feeling right now. We could also look at her 6th house of health. There it is right there. So we look at Saturn, see how Saturn's doing. Not terrible, but the node is there. So sometimes it's in a T-square here. Just looking at the sun, it looks like it could be a little bit difficult of a year for her health-wise. So let's see what the cards say. How's Melania Trump's health in her 2025 solar return chart that started in April? Oh, normally it would look good. Let's get a clarifier card. So yes, that's a very, very positive card. Not sure why I'm seeing a grand square to her sun. So can I get a clarifier card? Death reversed. It could be more mental, could be a feeling of stuck, but it's so funny. That's kind of like what she looks like. She's got long brown hair. Here's the problem. There's a lot of stress right now, and stress can trigger things in your body. The Pluto here, as you can see, Pluto is a revenge. And when your mate is a little bit erratic, you're having to go through the ups and downs of his work day, that can affect your health. So that's the only thing I'm thinking there. Her 7th house, or Trump, is going to be Uranus. Uranus is way up here, right exactly on the devil degree, which is 26 degrees. He is surely doing a lot of work with maybe Eastern European countries because of that Pisces there. A lot of secrets, things in the 8th house, which would be investments. So Pisces is secret. It's whispering about your 8th house, which is investments and other 8th house matters. Let's look at Trump. We're going to look at the Lord of the 7th, which would be Uranus, and that's going to change every year for you in your solar return. So you have to look and see what the 7th house is in. And then we're also going to look at Jupiter. Jupiter represents the husband. It looks like there are some issues here where husband feels stuck. Whenever you have the nodes here, nodes, that means in handcuffs. And in the 10th house with Gemini, he doesn't know how to press forward with his partner. And the partner could have something to do with Russia. Uranus is also, this could also be Elon. Yeah, this is Pisces. This is the south node and the north node. This is trying to get something, and he can't go through the normal channels to get what he wants. However, what you would do if you get stuck, you're going to look for the blue lines, sextile and a trine. And it sure looks like he is getting some positive press when it comes to the military, which is shocking. War, it seems like some kind of progress there. But what's also probably plaguing Melania is that there was a stalker that was arrested trying to come after Donald Trump's granddaughter. When you start having people, bad guys, coming into your environment, that can be kind of an omen of things that are not pleasant in the coming months. And so we look at her fourth house as well. And the fourth house of home is in Scorpio. So this can be somebody else's home, like the White House. And who knows what other person's home. But we're going to look at Pluto for her house. And good Lord, it doesn't look great to me. It looks like people are trying to, there's a fight. It looks like a fight in her home if this is rectified correctly. Looks like it's a possible fire because of Mars in Leo. Leo's the fire sign. It seems a bit erratic. It's almost like her home environment, believe it or not, is just as erratic as she may feel her husband is, and can contribute to a lot of anxiety. So let me pull a card here. And hello, happy hope and happiness. Happy Friday, member for 21 months. Thank you so much for your support. I couldn't do it without you, honestly. I know, Jan, Black Moon Lilith. Jan, you're up late. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Jan, whales. I haven't ever looked at whales before. I'm always like, I watch Escape to the Country, and it's always like the countryside of Yorkshire or Essex or something like that. So Wales, I hear, is beautiful though. when Val says mixed bag, I know it's not all positive, but at least something is positive, at least for those couple of months. But so interesting that we're getting a lot of squares in Melania's chart. I'm going to do a card about Melania Trump. What can you tell us about this really tough energy that Melania Trump is going through? And it looks as if there is revenge. It's like Mar-a-Lago and the White House is even more of a target than it would normally be with any other presidential administration. What are these red lines, this big red square, grand square that I'm seeing? What's it say about Melania? So Knight of Pentacles, that makes sense. Wanting to walk away, but you can't. Can I get a clarifier card on that? Somebody really wanted to take their money and go, but not able to do that right now. Another clarifier for Melania. This is not good. This is not good. Trying to get out of there, and one just flew out. The Fool. I don't know if that was reversed or not, so I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to say that it was right side up, wanting a new beginning. If it's reversed, maybe not being able to move on just yet. It's hard. Scaramucci was just talking on Instagram. They were showing, and he was saying how it is very difficult to have a relationship with Donald Trump because there's so much toxicity, and pretty much everybody talks about that who is close to him in his inner circle. Now that's according to Scaramucci. The Italian figures that the Italian is speaking. But let me get another card for just a general card for how Melania Trump is feeling right now. Oh, Queen of Cups reversed. Not feeling her vibe right now. Feeling a little upside down. Yeah, Trump's weight looking heavy. The BBC don't like whales. Too many dissenters. Maybe that's why, because I know you don't like BBC, and that's where I get some of my news. So, oh my God. So let's see where Black Moon Lilith is in Melania's chart. And of course, if you've never been to this channel, you haven't heard me talk about Black Moon Lilith. It is something that you want to look in your solar return. You got to find it. If it's in a stellium, it can be really, really intense events that happen for you. And also if it's in a square or a T-square. And it sure is in Melania's chart. And there is little Black Moon Lilith. This is a pretty nasty person, also a bully. So, just at first glance with Aquarius, that can just be online bullies. This looks like a man. This looks like a man who is really, who is this man? It's like a bully. This could be Bannon, I wonder. It looks wonderful. Okay, let me get a clarifier card. Maybe they both are trying to work towards the same thing, which is happiness and harmony for everyone. Tell me a little bit more about Melania's relationship with Steve Bannon. Justice. Okay, so maybe that makes sense. Maybe they're on the same page about who they want to get justice from. Maybe they're aligning on a certain issue. Yeah, did Bannon say Musk was an illegal? Yep. And keep in mind, what are we hearing a lot about? Illegal aliens. So the word alien would be Aquarius and Uranus. So he wants to deport Musk. Yeah. So maybe she's on board with that. Yeah. Triangle point. So that's a T-square to Black Moon Lilith. This is very, very difficult. This is battling somebody. It could be somebody in her family that's battling or somebody that she knows. But let's say it's Melania. Let me just ask, is she battling someone very evil that nobody knows about? The moon reversed. So maybe a secret, maybe could be even a female. Who is this person that, or maybe that's a no card. Hey, Aaron, nice to see you. South African undersea telecommunications cable cut. Will Elon take Trump down? By the way, that last card, I'm going to read that as if maybe this very evil T-square that's in her chart, maybe it's pointed towards someone that she knows, maybe not directly at her. But will Elon take Trump down? I can't imagine. I mean, it's dicey for sure, but it's everything's really being on fire. Everything is so fiery. Will Elon take Trump down? Let's see. Yes or no? No. Queen of Swords and a clarifier card. Maybe a female is coming in. Three of Wands. So possible, maybe Elon is distracted with female issues, or there could be some females in the Trump administration that are maybe reaching out to him, maybe to Elon. I know. Yeah. So, all right. So now I'm going to go over to Trump's chart. And this is so intriguing to me. And I've been talking about it for the past, I guess, 9-12 months. But right here, this is it's a big deal. This is Gemini. And in that T-square, in the 12th house, these are people he can't see. It seems like it's either it could be a group of women, but there's some really, it looks tough. It looks tough. And there are some deaths. So he is going to have to deal with something that has to do with maybe twin deaths. And that's, let's see, his birthday. So we've got May 14th. This is June 14th. I mean, we're just coming out of this. maybe the last days of Gemini. I bet you this is probably Twitter and the ninth house, Saturn, is embarrassment. When you have Saturn in your solar return and you have any red line through it, you could probably be assured that during any given month, especially the one where the months where the T square is going through, things are going to be a little embarrassing. And so you're seeing that already. He had some embarrassing words about D-Day. I think it was yesterday or today. And Pisces is foreign. So foreign press is just embarrassing. Everybody is gossiping. We could have guessed, because you can always see if there's gossiping in your chart when you have a red line, T-square opposition with Gemini. These could be also people in TV. So people in TV are very sad. There could even be a mystery about someone in television that's coming out. But we're getting into Cancer here. These last few days before his birthday, we've got 8 days left, and he is the moon right now. Moon is in Virgo, so we might be able to get some information about his health that's coming out. But we're still locked in this T-square here, and that moon is opposing Saturn. So this really shows like depression, chaos, and really not being able to say what you want. Believe it or not, he's putting the brakes on what he says. So T squares with Saturn, embarrassment, humiliation, depression, death. And he wants to move on after that little trio there, that stellium. It also looks like with Neptune, well, whenever you have Mercury, okay. Anytime you have Mercury and squaring Neptune, this is a pedophile. And that's what the gossip's about. This is the gossip, Mercury and Neptune. That is Epstein right there. And that's a big mess. We don't want that type of thing when we're a president. So that's about to move on to the moon. He's got to lay low right now because it could be dangerous. Kimberly, you said no proof Harry lied on visa application. That's good. Will Elon ban Trump from X? Oh, well, let me do that one. Will Elon ban Trump from X or Twitter? That would be a T-square with Gemini, not being able to have a platform to speak. So will Trump be banned from X soon? Four of Swords, stuck. Nobody sees you. You're taking a nap, taking a step back. By yourself. Feeling isolated for sure. Page of Swords, though, that's coming in. I don't know. That is still communication. So he's still able to communicate. It's just a smaller channel maybe. But also 2 women too. So again, the females are coming out. Not sure what that's about. Gemini twins, Trump and Elon. Exactly. I know it's all childish. And why is it childish? Because it's Leo, and Leo poorly aspected is basically, what do you call it? Acting as if you're in high school. And so, that's when Leo is poorly aspected, because we are acting like, what's Leo? Children. So well aspected, you're going to act like a king. You're going to be treated like a king or a queen. And so that makes me think, one thing I didn't mention on my show today, which I wanted to, was that crypto king with the king and Leo. So crazy that, and I think this is a definite omen for maybe Trump or other kings right now. But that whole thing with the crypto king getting busted and all that. Well, when he was busted, it was on Prince Street in New York. So can't make this stuff up. Definitely very childish behavior at the moment. It's embarrassing to watch. I know. Elon with his arms folded, pouting, was such an opposite to him dancing and jumping, welding chainsaws. Yeah. It's just that would be Uranus, just erratic highs and lows. But it'll be very interesting to see. It's not all bad here for Trump, because even though there's that big red T square that's activating, the moon is starting to activate too. There's a little sextile to his ascendant in Cancer right here. And there's also a trine to Saturn. Saturn in Pisces, this is water. Saturn is cold water. It looks like he gets an ice wind. This is ice. Maybe the next week or so, right before his birthday, there's something that seems, if it hasn't already come in, big, and famous. Maybe stopping criminals. That's possible. This is his 2025 solar return in Virgo. Sometimes that can show you're having some health issues, or maybe you're concerned. And we've got a big T square here. This is the nodes. Anytime you have a square with the nodes, you're stuck. And the sun is your ego, it's your body. This is going to be a monumental year, solar return year for Donald Trump. Now, he has South Node within 2 degrees of the ascendant, and that often shows a feeling of despair. So if you square it with Gemini, that can mean twin despair. So first of all, I need to know, what is that about? Sometimes it can just mean you can't get rid of something. You can't, if people keep saying things and you're like, I'm in hell right now. I can't get past this. So that could be that. What could be the twin despair for Donald Trump in the 2025 solar return year for him? Okay, I've got the wheel, which would be trying to get things going, a new beginning. It could be something very, very positive that's happening. Maybe it's a new project. Temperance reversed. So this is balance. Maybe it could be a guy. That could be Elon. Elon wants F-45 impeached. F-45 wants Elon deported. We can do both. What would indicate heart problems? Well, it's a good question you asked that. It does. There is a heart attack in here, and that's Mars squaring Uranus. So there are going to be some people who have heartaches, heartbreak this year. With Donald Trump, there's a possibility. It's a possibility his health is going downhill. So this is June 14th. Mercury is activated because we're in Virgo. So for the first month of his solar return year, we're going to get Mercury and Venus. So we're going to look up here, Mercury, and let's also look at Venus in a pretty tough T square there. So it would seem that, believe it or not, he might be having a good few days here with Mercury way up at the top. He's making some money. Let's say that probably because of the 8th house, Venus in the 8th, good investments that he's making. But once Venus comes in, that also represents Melania. And this is coming in June 7th, on or around June 17th. Melania, she's up here. And there's something that's happening here. Yikes. This looks like something that could be potentially serious. This is a family matter that's coming in because of the 5th house. It could also be a friend of Melania's, because Melania is the 7th house lord this year, and the 5th house is the 11th house from Melania. The 5th house is also his firstborn, Don Jr. Oh, it's the 2nd house, so it's about finances and investment. Maybe it's possible something is stuck with her. She wanted to launch something and now she can't, and she's delayed. So let's see what's up. I wanted to move on from Melania, but I keep seeing more about her this year. What's going on with Melania in this T square with this black moon Lilith squaring Pluto? This is big. This is big. This could be some kind of financial loss. What is happening with Melania in this T square? Got the world again. She wants to conquer the world. She's on the world stage. But what am I seeing with the T square in Donald Trump pointed straight to Melania in the 8th house? This is Scorpio. This is revenge. Somebody's getting revenge. Who is getting revenge? We get a profile, maybe a group. Something may have to do with children, but it looks like the number 3. So 3 people. Who are these 3 people that may be associated with Melania? 3 of Swords. So some kind of emotional or mental breakdown. I mean, that's a breakdown. Doesn't look rosy with that T square there, but here's what's good about his chart. When you have the sun at the top, oh, this is so, so strong. This is your ego. You are able to communicate. If it weren't for that T square through it, you'd be able to communicate any way you want. But let's see what's going well for him this year. We've got this mini grand trine here with part of fortune and Mars. Looks like he is winning something. It could be twin wins. Maybe he's focusing on 2 bills, maybe House and Senate, but there does seem to be a big win for him that's coming in. How would you know when that's going to activate? Well, a big one that's going to activate is probably around this time frame when Leo is his sign. So that's going to come around, that won't be till next year. Something's making him feel good. Maybe he is, let's look at his allies. Of course, his allies would be in Pisces, and Pisces means Russia. So let's look and see. Yeah. Okay. So we've got kind of half and half. His allies, oh, it's bad. They say no, and it makes him feel really bad. This could be something with Germany. We saw it with Zelensky. Zelensky went ahead and did this huge operation. And of course, Trump would have loved to have been part of it, but he's left out. So this could be something else that Trump is being left out of. So we would look at Neptune here. Neptune is Russia. And we're going to do a sextile to Uranus here. I think this is probably crypto and in the 9th house of publications. This could actually be somebody new that's kind of like an Elon Musk type that he's going to replace him with. It looks like Trump sure likes him. When you see a blue line to a planet, it means something good. It means like you're connecting with someone. But what's interesting here is, and this is, I know you're going to laugh at this, but when you have a trine to Uranus, you're going to make a prediction that works. It is a prophecy. It is a correct prophecy because of that trine. So I'm sure it has to do with money or something like that. And he's making predictions on crypto or something like that. The hardest thing for anybody is if you have these nodes and they are stuck, meaning with one of your personal planets, it's hard to go anywhere. So what would you do? You would look at where the node trines or sextiles. And the moon here is helping. So the moon can be an older woman. I think that might be his chief of staff. And that's a possibility right there. Somebody is helping him get out of maybe talking on his behalf. The 6th house represents your health, though. For the most part, it looks okay, except for Mars, and that's your heart and back. When will this come in? Probably next mid-May 2026. Also, when Aquarius comes in, so that would be September, October, that would be around the holidays, November 14th. No, actually, it would be even before that when Aquarius activates. So that would be October 25th, on or around October 25th to maybe November 16th is a time frame that he really has to watch his health. It's definitely an upset. So got to watch the heart. Yeah, and there's that T square. So here's his transit chart. Uranus, you could see super hard. When Uranus is going through your 10th house, it is up, down, and on top of it, when it is poorly aspected, ouch. And this is also Musk. So you've got this right here. And it's going to go back and forth and back and forth. And there's just a lot of upsets. Very tough for the career. We look at the sun, his health, his body. And yeah, when Jupiter is transiting over your sun, it can show that you gain a little bit of weight. So with transiting over your chart ruler. So that's expansion. Sometimes you can't help. Yet there is a trine to part of fortune. This is huge. This is still a big win. It's twin wins. I want to say it's something probably criminal related. Criminal is a big thing in his administration. People say he's a criminal. He's in a war with criminals. So criminal is Pisces. So you can see a decent amount of Pisces in his charts. Let's see his health. Sixth house is Uranus. And we've got a trine to Chiron. Not terrible until Pluto starts to move through and starts making poor aspects. So for the time being, he's okay. I think one of the biggest issues for him as far as safety is possibly someone with a gun. And this is Uranus squaring Mars. This is a guy. It's a guy with Leo or guys with Leo profiles, big guys. I don't know, maybe they have a law enforcement background, bullies, big bullies. And maybe there's somebody just cracks and it's hard to see. It's right in his 12th house. He's having a Mars return, but right currently 28, we got Mars should go maybe another couple of degrees. And then once it squares Uranus, you are going to see something pretty shocking is happening. And it's not a tweet from Elon. It looks like it could be something kind of dangerous. So he's got to be really careful about that. What I would say to anybody who's about to go through something like that is just, don't go skydiving. Do your normal routine, use your intuition, and you'll be fine. The boisterous sea of democracy is never without a wave. Thomas Jefferson. Leo energy there, Jefferson. Brenda, in my opinion, if the Dems had anything bad on Trump, they would have released it during the election. It's going to be interesting to see Putin and what's going on. And I'm going to look in his transit chart about that. What happens to Trump in February 26th? I had a dream about him having a coronary in February. I hope it was just a dream. 2026, it looks like there are some heart issues. And that would be very typical of Leos. They have to make sure that they've got good heart health. Let's look at Putin for a second. Putin doesn't it make sense that somebody who he'd consider probably a partner is all Pisces here, and it also represents a foreign wife. So Venus is here. This is a transit chart. This is right now. Looks like there is a square to Chiron. So this means pain. Means incurring pain of some sort. They're receiving a lot because of the North Node in a nice sextile here. So maybe receiving money. The finances look pretty good for him. But there's pain there. Pain for Putin and pain for Melania of some sort. Sometimes it's just stubbing your toe. It could be, those war themes. These are literally hurting the finance part of Trump's chart. So he's going to find money anywhere, especially with a war president. You're going to probably make money off of that. But there's something that it's hurting. It's exact on Melania. Is Melania feeling any pain right now? Looks like yes. And is it short term? Yeah, looks like yes. So I hope she gets better. I don't want anybody in pain. We just want them to leave. And Jen, you said big, beautiful bill prohibits individual states from restricting any AI or IT developments in the next 10 years. I know. I don't think it's going to pass, but you could probably see that in Donald's chart. So let's see. This is a solar for 2025. When will it pass? Will it pass by his birthday? So if it's June 14th, I don't think it can pass before his birthday because of that Gemini. It's just, everything is stopped. But God, this would be This would be something. Mercury. Oops. Mercury is right up here. And you could see there's something very positive here. All right, let me think about this. This would be about the deficit. And so you would look at the 8th house. If you were looking at like credit cards or something like that for Trump, it's going to be the national deficit. And Mars is here. There are some positive things happening for him here. Then Venus activates. I think it'll get kicked back. This, I think, is probably one of the ladies in Congress who is stopping this bill. And look at how Pluto represents debt. They don't want it. It doesn't look good, but he can still somehow squeak out a win from Congress. I don't know how it's going to go, but maybe he makes some kind of negotiation. Definitely, there's going to be a real disappointment with this bill coming up, maybe because of a female. Yeah, if Elon takes his rockets and goes off, will Bezos step in with his blue org rockets? That's a good question. Let's see, Blue Origin rockets. Is Jeff Bezos poised now? I bet. Wow, what an amazing day for Jeff Bezos. I didn't even think about that. Is there going to be more now that Elon is gone? Is there going to be more opportunity for Bezos in the Trump administration? That's a pretty good card. And a clarifier for Jeff Bezos. This is a network, building a network or something. Any other clarifier card you could give me for Jeff Bezos, what his new role is going to be? Well, King of Cups. So maybe not a role. Maybe trying to fix what's in the kingdom somehow. King of Cups, this is it's going to be hard. This is not being able to go forward as you want. Trina, you said it's currently an article of impeachment against Trump. Will he be impeached and removed from the presidency? Well, let's look at the cards for that. Will Trump be impeached in the next 12 months? After Clinton, I didn't even think too much about impeachment anymore. It just didn't mean anything. Will Trump be impeached? Looks like a no. And will the future Mrs. Bezos sign a prenup? She better. Will the future Mrs. Bezos sign a prenup? The answer is no. Smart lady. Raymond 8647 25th Amendment. Yes. Yep. I get you on that one. And who posted that 8647? The wedding will be off. You think so? Do you think Bezos is calling the wedding off? Bezos or Lauren Sanchez, are they going to call this wedding off? They don't know yet. Maybe they don't know, but there's a sticky point for sure. Kimberly, I agree with you. I don't think it's going to happen. So anyway, all right, I got to run. I have my dinner on the stove. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll have to come back and revisit and check for this weekend. I'll have some new content up, and I hope you can join me. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.